Hello, this is my submission for the challenge Salesforce time tracker, automated time logging. So I'll start this challenge with installation of the package in a org and also setting up the configuration. So before you installing anything like any unmanaged package or anything, there are a few things that you need to do for this to work. One of the things is make sure that you have email to case enabled. So uh, it's uh, it's in the cases email to case. Make sure that this one is enabled. So and then if you go to the support settings, make sure that the enable email drafts is enabled, and when you go to the users, make sure that you are set up as a service cloud user. And there are other prerequisites that are mentioned in the document, so you can make sure that you have all those prerequisites or pre-configuration steps are done. After that, just go ahead and install the package from the URL. So the package should install fairly quickly. And there is a permission set in the package for the case feed. You can assign the permission set to the users who does not have the permission. You don't really need to make any changes to the system admin user, because they already have like permission for everything. So, but if you are like testing for a different user who is not a system admin, make sure that you assign that case feed permission to that user. Just taking some time, and it's done. So the after installation is done, one thing that I wanted to tell you is like setting up the custom settings. So there is also a code in the documentation. You can run this one in the developer console, or you can manually go and you can like SCC tracking manage. Click on new. So the elapsed login hours is 9 hours. So you can, by default you can keep it 9, or you can like make it 12. And tracker groups, tracker profiles, and tracker roles are, so you do not want to track each and every user's action. So there is a so I'm giving this additional functionality where you can specify who you wanted to track based on a group or a profile or a role. So if you think that you want to track all the users in the system admin profile, make sure that you put in like and if you want to track someone else, just comma separate it and keep adding it. And also the roles, if you want to track CO or CEO, you can just do it as well. Just save the one and make sure that you save this. So that's the only setting you have to do, and then you should all be set with your console. So now if you go, you can see that there is this thing called agent console. So I'm gonna go give you a demo of two different things. So when you log into this agent console, the first thing that it will ask you is, did your shift start at the current time? And if you say yes, so it says thank you, and it will show you like you started at April 21st, 2014, and it will start the timer for you. So that's one thing, and it will also create a. So I have created this record called login record. There is a possibility that for some of the users, when they log in, they don't directly log into the Service Cloud console. They might do the work outside the Service Cloud console and then log in into the Service Cloud console. So for that, what I did was I have created a different type of Apex log record called login. Let me show you. So this is the login record. So the event is login, and the start time and the end times are basically the times that the user said yes or no to the logged in. 543 is specific time in the system, so that's why it's showing 543. And you can see that this is the elapsed time, so you can basically shut it down, and you can do your work over here. You can just minimize it, and you can see this is a custom console component, and it will keep on moving. The elapsed time will keep on moving. And also, if assume that you moved from this agent console, you went to a call center or something, you did some work over here, and then you went back to the agent console. So it will not ask you whether you have started or not. So it will directly give you like the elapsed time, and that's what it will show you. It will not ask you if you have started previously or not, because it doesn't make any sense to ask you, because it's the number of hours is uh, the setting is set to like 9 hours. And so what you can do is you can basically pull up a case, start working on the case. I'll start with the post, test charter post, share. So this one is test charter post. So what I did was I added a case. So if you go back to the Apex log, and you can see that the create case note, and that's the ticket, and the elapsed time is like 2 minutes. So it took 2 minutes for you basically. And if you see the stop time, the start time for this one is 543, which is the stop time of the login, and it's 545. You can see it's still going on. Now you wanted to do something else on some other case. So let's open the other case. So let's edit it. Let's send the priority to medium, low, and save it. So you saved the case, right? So if you go back, so that's the edit ticket, and you can see that that's the elapsed time. So what else? So let's see. Let's wait for a minute. Well, basically what it is doing is it has like triggers running behind the scenes for every object for which the event is running, and then the trigger is basically inserting the records into the Apex log. So let's change the owner. The owner is changed. So that's the owner change. You can see that the owner is changed. And you can also do as you can see there's a email thing. So for this emails to save as drafts, you need to make sure that draft email is set as I shown you in previously. You can say okay. So if you save it, it's basically saved as a draft. So you can look at the emails. If you go back here, and you can see that that's the email draft that's saved. And you can basically if you go back, this is the case, right? So if you work on like a different case, and if you work on this case, and if you go back to that case, and if you try to send an email, so you already have a draft email, so basically it will pull that draft email, because you cannot send an email when you have a draft email, so you need to make sure that the draft email is sent first. So the email is basically sent. If you go back, so that's the email that's sent. So these are all like the different things that you can basically do as per the challenge. So let me reset everything. So let me delete everything. So now I deleted everything. So I'm going to this one. So I don't have any records. So if I go back and log into the agent console, so since it's everything is fresh, so what it will do is it will ask you if your shift started at 2:50, right? So I click no. It will ask you to enter the start time. So I'll set up the start time. Okay, I started at 8 o'clock. You can enter the activities from 8 to 8:30. I did call log, and you can also give the assign the case number. If it finds it, it will map it. Otherwise, it doesn't do it. You can add another activity, and you can basically save the activities. Save activities. So what it will also do is it will give you the elapsed times. So you can see that. So we started at 8 o'clock. So the elapsed time is basically 51 minutes 21 seconds. So that's how it is. And if you go back to the logs, you can see all the logs are created for you, and with the elapsed times. So you start at 8 o'clock and 8:30 and 8:45. So that's basically it. That's the functionality, and for the future purpose, I added this pause. So you can pause the timer, or you can resume the timer. So it will basically pause and resume. So for the future challenge, I think you have this feature. So I add it as just as a future functionality reference. And you can even log out and log in, basically.